This is System 3, Week 7 of the modes. We're going to be in the locrian mode. So the locrian mode's an interesting one. You always want to think you're starting on like a half step down from the root of the key you're in. Okay, so if I'm in F locrian, I'm really in the key of G flat, and you have your G flat scale here. Remember that shift because we're not in the cage system anymore. So that's the locrian sound. It starts off with the flat 2, which is a really unusual sound. Okay, so when we play this first chord, I'm going to walk into the land of jazz now. This should be really fun and really challenging. When you play jazz, the complication with jazz is you're really playing over every single chord. That's why it moves very quickly. Your mind has to really be sharp and your ears have to be really sharp. So when you hear the great bebop players and stuff, they're truly amazing. I mean, genuinely amazing. Listen to like Sonny Stitt or Charlie Parker or Dizzy Gillespie or Clifford Brown. These are like astounding musicians. Coltrane in his early years was like that post-bop type of guy. Okay, so what you want to do is on the first chord, I'm going to play this thing. It's called a minor 7 flat 5 chord. Okay, so I'm playing the notes F, B, E flat, and A flat. It almost looks like a little C sharp 9. And you can actually approach that C sharp 9 with these ideas. All right, so on this, I'm going to play the locrian scale. Okay, you hear that it works. Now, I'm going to be playing what's called a minor 2-5-1. So if I'm in a minor key, I'm going to be in the key of E flat minor. And don't let this spin your head too much, but if I'm in the key of E flat minor, the 2 chord is going to be an F chord. In this case, it's an F half diminished. So it's a minor 7 flat 5 chord. If I played it up here, by the way, you would recognize this. So there's your F minor. There's my 5th, right? If I lowered that a half step, listen to those notes. Same chord, right? So it's the same sound. And that's what you play the locrian over. Okay, now this is where it's going to get fun. The next chord I'm going to play is a B flat 7 chord, is normally the 5, but you can play, and again, don't let all this theory get in the way of the exercise. You can play a full diminished by going up a half step from the root note. This is a B diminished chord. Now, we've practiced the diminished, and they were the devils in the when you did your arpeggios. Those obviously were the hard chords to do. You might be getting pretty good at the rest of the chords, but you're like, I don't know what to do with this diminished. It's impossibly difficult. All right, so for the B diminished, I'm going to play these notes. And this is a diminished 7th that I'm doing. But you know this little shape, right? And it looks, you see that little shape there. It looks like a little like D7 up 2 frets. It would be like an E7 almost, you know? So that's the pattern that I want you to get. All right, so we're starting off on locrian. When we go to this chord, I'm going to have you play this pattern. Any number of those notes, you could even just do or something like that, or okay. And then I'm going to take it to E flat minor or E flat minor 7. And what I'm going to do on this one is what we just did. I'm going to play that E flat minor pentatonic, and you can always play the blue notes. Now, I'm going to add one caveat, but let me play through that much and just talk through it. So I'm going to start off on locrian, okay? So this is half diminished chord for locrian. Diminished. Minor pentatonic. Here we go on the locrian again. Diminished. Then jazzy, doesn't it? All right, so again. All right, now, here's where, for you more advanced players, you know, if you play through that the first day and you feel like, okay, I've sort of got that. You know, I've got the locrian, I've got the diminished, which incidentally you can expand to the full diminished. But here's the key with a diminished chord. When I play a diminished chord, I can go up, there's my full diminished, every 3 frets, and it's the exact same shape. And this shape can go up 3 frets. If you've ever heard Yngwie Malmsteen, and I'm doing it, that fingering on that, that's a really great sound. Now, so if you're a little bit more advanced, I'd say you can do this, and then whatever position you're in, just like the last exercise, that puts us into the minor pentatonic. So let me do this again. I'll walk through and I'll show you how I can get to different sections using that diminished. All right, so locrian to start off with. Locrian. Diminished. Now I'm in a different form. Okay, let me do it again. Locrian. And I'm into the E flat minor pentatonic. Sounds very jazzy, right? All right, so you don't have to do all that if you're, if you're just learning the stuff and you're like, oh, I'm barely holding on for dear life. Just stick with a little bit of the locrian, and if you can expand it a little bit, that's great. But you can just start off on 2 strings if you want, and then just get little shapes. And you can stay right in that zone. That's totally fine. But if you're a little bit further along and you want to, and then go into your minor pentatonic. You can go into those different, the 5 different pentatonic shapes, accessing them through the diminished, which is the power of the diminished because it's symmetrical. It just moves into those next shapes. All right, so have fun with this one. I hope you enjoy it. Now it's your turn.